Welcome to No Strings Attached, untangling conversations about shady topics. Hosted by Roger Magalhães, this podcast pulls back the curtain on the window covering industry with expert insights and a splash of Brazilian flair. Whether you're an installer, designer, dealer, or just fed up with crooked blinds, get ready for real tips, industry know-how, and plenty of laughs. Now, let's get untangled.
Hello. Welcome to No Strings Attached. My name is Roger Magalhães, and if this is the first time you've been here, welcome to the show. And what we do here, we talk about anything and everything related to window treatment topics, from installer's tips to how I run my business. Also, because I'm an immigrant, I will talk about pursuing the American dream. I also talk about customers, things that went well, things that didn't go well. So how this whole thing started, there was back in 2020 during the pandemic. I created a second company called Trading App Consulting, and I was sharing my knowledge, my expertise, also the things that didn't work well during installations and such. So I created a podcast called Trading Secrets Podcast, and we have a ton of success. I had people listening in all 6 continents. It was great. But then life got on the way. I had to put brakes on it, and now 2 years later, I am coming back with a different name. I also going to talk about different topics as well, not just installers tips, but how I run my business. I will share personal stories. I will share 2 other blogs that I write. One is called Blind Audacity, where I share personal notes, travels, how I do things with my clients. The other podcast, the other show is called We Dress Naked Windows. I try to educate people and colleagues about products, about things that would work better for window applications, but not on a boring way. I try to stir it up. I try to make fun of it, and hopefully you get a kick out of that. So how did I get started in this industry? That was back in 2006. So therefore, I almost call 2 decades in the industry. I was a full-time truck driver. I started doing this part-time after my cousin coming over for a cookout, and his phone was ringing off the hook. I came, dude, what the heck? Are you selling drugs or running for office? He said, no, man, I'm hanging shades. And I just had remodeled my house, and I was kind of, what? Who the heck pays you to hang shades? I said, yeah, that's a big industry. A lot of people don't know what to do. A lot of people have bigger jobs. They don't want to bother with these. I could not believe that was an industry, to be honest. And I said, I want to ride along one day. I want to see how this thing can be possible. And that was it. Indeed, that is an industry. I'm sure you relate to that. All your friends, or at least most of your friends, not even know what you do or, the real thing. I even had one client once at the beginning. He came to me and said, Roger, what do you do for a living? I said, no, I hang shades. I said, no, seriously, what do you do for a living? Yeah, no, seriously, that's what I do for a living. So people don't believe you can make good money in this industry. My friend Tim Sanders, he says, is the most hidden secret that anyone can share is this industry. And sure indeed, there's a lot of opportunities, but also there's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears for things that don't work, and they can go wrong, they can go south really, really fast. And for that reason, I'm here to share all of these with you, the wins and the losses, and we are in this together. So as I said, in 2020, I created Trading App Consulting. I created a podcast. You are going to see the first few shows as you scroll down on the episodes, and there's a couple letters, the initials for TS, Trading Secrets. Those were the original podcast shows. So from now on, this is the first podcast after I came back. We're not going to put initials, but we are going to number them. So this is going to be episode number 1. Why I'm behind the microphone again. We'll take it from there. So as I said, I'm going to share things. I'm going to share blogs that I write regularly. So just go down on the show notes. You get links. You can sign up for those newsletters. You also have a space that you can send me messages. As a matter of fact, I do want you to send me messages, either feedback of things that I'm doing right or things that I should improve. I'm the first one to accept critiques. I think they are great. For that reason, we have over 800 5-star reviews because we listen to our audience. I try to implement suggestions. I try to avoid all the things that I'm not doing right. So I hope you participate. You can send me questions. You can send feedback. You can share a story. I can protect your identity if you don't want to be recognized. I can switch names. I'm kind of shady guy, so I'll work with you in any level of interaction that you wanted to allow me to. So the other thing that I am not going to do, you're not going to see a perfect, total, crystal clear, crispy sound show. No, originally from Brazil, so there's always an accent. There's always a word that you're probably not going to understand. I am so sorry, but suck it up and move on because that's the way it is. That's the way I am. I'm going to try to be real. I'm probably going to forget a word here and there. You're going to see him and and you, which means I forgot what the heck I was going to say. But just right along, it's part of the show. It's part of my personality. It's actually part of any installer's experience. You go to a job site, you expect everything to be perfect, and guess what? 99% of the time is not. You need to fake it. You need to adjust. It's pretty much like a GPS. You need to recalculate and continue to your destination. Eventually, you get there. This show is the same thing. Every time it's going to start perfect, and then it's going to go downhill pretty quick. I'll try to turn around. I'll try to recalculate, and we go from there. So again, no strings attached, rebrand. I'm very excited to be here. I really wish you participate one way or the other. And that's all about it. Expectations, frustrations, knowledge, whatever comes my way, I'll throw through those microphone waves. And I hope you learn something. I hope you teach me something, because we all in this together. So the original show got over people all over 6 continents. I hope this trend continues from now on. Check it out, the show notes. Stay with me. I will try to do these every week, but probably gonna skip one here, one there, based on schedules, based on how life works. I don't know about yours, but mine sometimes gets crazy, and you think you have control, but you don't. So enough about me. Thanks so much for being here, and I'll see you next time. Take care.
That's a wrap for this episode of No Strings Attached, untangling conversations about shady topics. If you enjoyed today's discussion, be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share this podcast with fellow industry pros and window treatment enthusiasts. For more expert insights, follow Roger on social media and visit Shades in Place at www.shadesinplace.com. Thanks for listening. Until next time, keep your shades stylish and your conversations shady.